Oh yeah, what's up everybody? It is growth group video time. Hey, it is wow, been quite a week. Quite a week. If you are watching this in like sequence and kind of like in real time, and if you will, as when this is released, this past week has been coronavirus week at the United States. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's been a lot. A lot of roller coaster, a lot of information, a lot of stuff coming out. And this past weekend, we talked about faith. We talked about through faith alone. And I don't know about you, but yeah, that's faith versus fear has been on my mind a lot. And it's so good that you're together. If you're together, it's so good. If you're watching this separately, maybe choosing to do group separate and I don't know, talk over text or something, or if you're actually together, staying 3 feet apart, I would hope, and trying to keep that social distance, but also to still be in community. I'm proud of you guys. Shout out to everybody for just kind of like following the Spirit's leading. As you know, we did not cancel services this past weekend. It's currently Saturday night. We had a good-sized crowd out for a Saturday night with everything going on with the coronavirus hysteria, honestly, as well as snow and all kinds of craziness. But we didn't cancel, and I think that it was a very difficult decision to come to because we just wanted to do what would honor you guys the most, as well as what would honor God. And we felt as though because of our numbers being smaller and because we felt like we could take some precautions, that we would be able to at least connect a little bit this past weekend. And so yeah, let's dive in. So this first question I wanted to throw out to you is really designed to get us at this idea of faith, because no matter who you are or what you say, you put your faith in something every day, many different things. And so you may put your faith in other people, you may put your faith in things, you may put faith in yourself in any given day. And so I want you to just talk about, with everything that's been going on, when it comes to the situation we find ourselves in this country, is what do you feel like you've watched people put their faith in, or maybe you've put your faith in, that has been probably not the best thing to put their faith in? So I'll give you some options of what I'm thinking. You know, some people have really put their faith in the government, and really, whether that be the president, the House, which passed an economic kind of like boost bill or whatever to help out the economy. Some people have put their faith in the CDC, or they put their faith in the healthcare professionals of our country, or doctors, or first responders, or maybe they've put their faith in, well, the American people. And we can see that when we maybe trusted or put our faith in them, that what they ended up doing was going out and buying all the toilet paper. So I guess I would just have your group talk about, what fear caused many people to put their faith into. I think that's a kind of an interesting connection between faith and fear, is that sometimes the fear that we experience causes us to put our faith into something that may not be exactly what we should put our faith into. So take some time to talk about like what you saw over the past week to 10 days, and kind of where you saw people putting their faith and how that maybe was driven by fear. So that relationship between the two. All right, go ahead and pause the video and discuss that right now. All right, so on the weekend during the message, I had kind of asked somewhat of a trick question where I asked, how were the people in the Old Testament saved? And by and large, everyone kind of responds with the sacrifice. They would sacrifice animals in the temple, and that would then be what forgave them and how they attained salvation. And there's truth to that, but I think when we look at Hebrews chapter 11, and we see all of the Old Testament people who are named in that chapter, and the fact that it's by faith, by faith, by faith, by faith. We see that maybe it's a little bit more than just that. So I think the connection is that our faith in God causes us to do things. In their case, it was their faith in God that caused them to sacrifice, and that combination is what we would say is how they found salvation and how they reached a right standing with God. And the scripture in Hebrews 11 is really all about the fact that it was really their faith that did it. There were lots of different people groups that were sacrificing things to their gods, but it was not that faith that was saving them, because those gods were not real. Those people were mistaken, but the people of God were using their faith in their God to then kind of follow his commands. And so what I'd love for you guys to do right now is to kind of dive into Hebrews 11. I'll just kind of leave it up to your group leader to decide how far into that chapter you want to go. It's about 40 verses long, and it's so good. It may be helpful for you to read the whole thing, split it up by person. Maybe it would be interesting to just kind of like even look at all the different names that are named there, and all the different situations that kind of come up. But I would love for you guys to take chapter 11 of Hebrews and just take some time to like absorb it, and to kind of like determine, what's standing out to you, and just, man, it's kind of overwhelming when you see like how incredible faith is to the people of God and to us. And so, so take some time right now, pause the video, read through chapter 11 as much as your leader or as your group wants to, any or all of it, and have a discussion around what that kind of means to you, and just kind of how it connects in with really how our faith causes us to stand up, to believe, to fight, to stand strong, all of those things. So take some time now, pause the video, and read chapter and discuss chapter 11 of Hebrews. Awesome. So if you're at the services this weekend, you know that one of the songs that we did in our set was Do It Again by Elevation Worship. And I think that this next time in your group would be really cool to take a look at that song. So here's how we're going to do it. Either you could have someone in your group Google that boy and Do It Again by Elevation Worship, and you could listen to it, and you could, just kind of interact with it that way. Listen to it, worship to it. But for sure, whether you do that or not, for sure, I want you to just kind of read through I guess it would be considered kind of like the chorus of the song, where it says, "Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never failed me yet." And I think that kind of paragraph or those lyrics are what I'd love for you guys to kind of talk about, and I guess maybe share which one of those lines stands out to you most. Also, where is it that you've seen God's faithfulness in your own life, and how would you like to turn that back to God in praise? So kind of like interacting with a song that we normally sing and then we're done is to kind of like unpack those lyrics a little bit. Again, you can listen to the song in full, but definitely take a few minutes to talk about those lyrics and interact with those a little bit. What stands out to you, and where have you seen God's faithfulness, so that you can trust Him to do it again. I think a lot of times our faith in God all the time is based on God's faithfulness, which is kind of like a double entendre, but it's very much that our faith in God, it isn't about how much we hold on to God's hand. It's the fact that God's holding on to us. The same way that when a child holds their mother's hand or their father's hand, it isn't like the child that is making that that relationship safe and secure. It's the fact that that father, that mother is holding on to that child's hand, and it's the faithfulness, the strength, it's the security of that parent that really makes that relationship strong. And so as that child reaches out, just like we do, our faith is based on the faithfulness of God. He has never failed us. And so I think for the group, it'd be great to talk about that, because it's hard to sing that song if we don't have anything that we can point to, right? To say, no, God, you did it once, you're going to do it again. So pause the video, take some time to talk about that song. I'll put the lyrics up on the screen as well in case that's helpful. All right, pause it. All right, this last part is going to be kind of a brainstorm session. My question to you guys in the weekend was, how can faith overcome fear in this moment? So I think with everything that's going on, whether you're watching this video well after the coronavirus is gone and not a big deal, or if we're in the midst of it still, I think this is an opportunity for us to really brainstorm as a group, to decide how can we allow faith to overcome fear, and what would our faith in God cause us to do. Because of his faithfulness, we know that we can put our trust in him, and we, by faith, we're going to see something happen. We're going to attempt something that we know that we need God to help us with. So I'm going to throw out a couple of ideas. Maybe you could talk about if there's anyone in your group that maybe you know someone who you know someone that needs help, someone that needs assistance, someone that needs food, toilet paper, whatever it might be. Maybe there's a brainstorm where we could think about, like, what is it that our faith could well up inside of us, and we can trust and we can know that because of what Jesus has done for us, because of what God's faithfulness has looked like for us, we want to be God's hand and feet to the people around us. This is a time for the church to rise up. Like I said over the weekend, we want to spread hope faster than the coronavirus is spreading. And so I would love it for you guys to brainstorm something like that, where you can spread hope by faith and through faith to the world around you, the people that you know. Maybe you have some elderly folks that are represented, family members, or other friends that maybe you guys can brainstorm to help out. So take some time right now to brainstorm that. I'm proud of you guys for, again, getting together, for being able to dive into this, to brainstorm ideas, and to really dig deeper in what does it mean for us to have faith, and how we're saved through faith. And so we're pumped to be continuing this whole series, and to be light in dark places this week as our world and our country is trying to figure out how to navigate the next few weeks. And so love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great week, and praying that your rest of your group goes extremely awesomely, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.